So I am so excited about one of my upcoming millionaire students. His name is Strati. If you're in the inner circle, you know, because now he's the lead trainer of Inner Circle. He's helped guiding other people. He's not yet a millionaire. He's up around $800,000, but he's had some ups and downs lately. Just in the past few months alone, like he's doubled his profits. I mean, just to start 2025, I think he was at like 300,000 or 350,000. So he's doubled his net worth in literally just 4 months, but it's not all smooth sailing. So I want you to pay attention to this interview. Think about his mindset, learn from what he's doing right and what he's doing wrong. I think it's fascinating that he's not just successful, but he's so transparent. And you Inner Circle students know this. I'll post a link to the Inner Circle below. That's where, you have to be in the challenge. We also do in-person meetups and Zoom phone calls. It's really like the next level. It's like the challenge on steroids. Strati has taken it to the stratosphere. That's what I like to say. But in this interview, it's really the thought process of someone who is on the verge of becoming a millionaire. And, usually I do interviews once people are millionaires, but he hasn't gotten there yet. And you can see that it weighs pretty heavily on him, although he's clearly on the right track. So pay attention to Strati, this whole interview. Pay attention to the lessons. Leave a comment below. Congratulate Strati on his success. Tell him not to be so hard on himself. Like he's like this perfectionist, and you just don't have to be that way. He's doing a great job, and I want everyone, especially you Inner Circle students, thank him for his time. Pay attention, take notes. Here's Strati.
You look tired.
I'm so tired, dude. I've been up since midnight. I'm so up here.
Where are you?
I'm in Vegas. I literally woke up at midnight and I've just been up.
Since midnight?
It's midnight. I slept and I woke up and it was like 12:26 a.m. and I was like, mother.
You're gonna crash, huh?
We good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're recording? Let's use all that. I am here with Strati. How's it going, man?
What's going on?
How you feeling?
Yeah, like
Why?
trading sucks right now.
You just made $10,000 today. That would be what? 3 months of work for your previous job.
Yeah, it's valid.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I was just talking with Jack, and he's like, I was 0 for 6 yesterday, 0 for 10 today. I'm so devastated. I was like, oh, you poor multimillionaire. You're only up $2 million in 2.5 months of 2025. Oh! Why do traders not have a big picture kind of mindset? You only think about like your last trade and your last trading day.
I don't know. I mean, it's because we're so into it, dude. Like we don't care about the money. You just want to do well. Like you want to perform. So when you're not in it, you just start to get pissy and annoyed.
I feel like you just need me to remind you guys, like I was like, Jack has everything going for him, but he had a few down days. He's down this week, down, in 2 weeks. But big picture, it's fine. So I told him to lose the battle, win the war. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. We're gonna lose battles all the time.
So you made 10K today, but how much were you up or down for the week?
The week I was down 10K. So in 4 days, I made it all back in what?
So you're break even for the week. We're 2
Yeah.
weeks into March as we're filming this. How are you March to date in 2
Pretty
weeks?
bad. Biggest red month ever. Like 35K red.
You're down 35K this month. What did you make last month?
130.
1,000.
130,000.
And what did you make the month before?
70,000.
And what did you make the month before?
Oh my God, 100,000.
1,000. So you made 100,000, you made 70,000, and then you made 130,000. Let me just do the math. How much does that add up to?
300,000.
$300,000 in 3 months. Now this month you're down roughly 10% of that, roughly $30,000.
It's not about the money.
But I'm clearing it up for people watching who are right now thinking like Strati is a spoiled little fuck. Beep that out.
But I almost wish we could say like I didn't make 130,000. Like I performed well for 25 days. I wish we could talk in that language. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're not aliens. We talk in terms of money. Okay. We talk in terms of big picture. You're now over $700,000 in profits, and you've lost 10% of your recent gains and roughly 5% of your overall gains.
Yeah. Yeah, that's valid. Doesn't feel like it though, but losing just hurts more than winning. So like when you win all the time, like it's cool, but like when you lose a couple times, that sucks. Like isn't that like a science where losing hurts more than winning?
I'm
Is that a
sure
thing?
there's a science to it. I think that you're also just a little fuck, just like Jack is. And you guys are so spoiled by wins and you lose, all perspective. And it's my job to help remind you of how fortunate we all are, even with the losses. When the market is dropping, and by the way, Apple is down like 12% in the past like week, which is like the biggest drop in quite a while. Tesla's down 50% off its highs. I mean, the biggest companies are getting crushed, and we penny stock traders are losing 5 or 10% of our recent gains.
Yeah. That I like that. That's a good way to look at it. It could be a
Okay.
lot worse.
It could always be worse. And the reason why I want to do this video right now is because look, it's not always rosy. Okay. If we're just like, oh, I made this much this month, I made this much this week, that's not realistic to last forever. And it's not realistic for people watching. What's happening now is realistic for people watching.
Yeah.
People need to learn how to lose 5 or 10% of their profits and be okay with it and not be a little fuck about it.
I don't mind losing if I feel like I did it in a good way, if I took good losses, but I was breaking rules, you know what I mean? Like you break bad habits are coming back. That's the shit that pisses me off.
Well, I mean, let's get into the details. Part of the money that you made on the way up, you were breaking rules, but the market was very friendly, so there were no
Right.
consequences.
Right.
So I
So
actually like to think about it as something that's good, where if you break rules in a bad market, you get slapped, right?
yeah.
There are consequences in this market. Otherwise, you just run amok and it's like, hey, I'm a trust fund baby. I can do whatever I want. People learn the wrong rules. They learn the wrong lessons, and that holds them back forever. If you know any trust fund babies, they're all messed up. Their perspectives are all screwed up because they've been born with so much money they never earned it, and they're literally screwed up for their entire lives. Watch the TV show Succession. It does a good job explaining what happens. Do you know any trust fund kids?
No. No, no.
You're
You do.
fortunate. I sadly know several. I know some people who have joined the challenge, some who were going to join Inner Circle and they were going to put in 500,000 or $700,000 because it doesn't mean much to them. And they're like, oh, I'll be a millionaire so quickly. And I was like, first of all, never start with trading with 500 or 700,000, you rich. Second of all, it doesn't mean anything if you just make a little bit of money and everything is already given to you. The whole point of the Millionaire Challenge is that you start with very little, you learn how to grow your account exponentially. The 700,000 that you've made, it's nice, but the journey, the process by which you made the 700,000 is far more valuable than the $700,000 itself. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. The money, I'm telling you, none of it's about the money. I'm
I
growing up
mean,
as a trader. You know what I mean? The market's helping you grow up. It kills your ego. It teaches you lessons. So then you become a better person. And then you get money along the way, which is like sick at the same time. It's a double whammy.
you get the education and you get the rewards and you get the punishment when you break the rules. What rules have you been breaking?
Let's see, like not sticking, like oversizing. So like if I want to lose 1,000, I'm losing 2,000. If I want to lose 2,000, I'm losing four. I'm trading midday. I've been sitting here all day, trading all the time, taking
First of
trade.
all, why are you sitting there all day? I'm looking at your little apartment. It's not like a place I want to be for very long.
Honestly, Boston's just cold. I hate going outside, and I got nothing to do, you
I
know.
hated Boston too. That's why I left after freshman year. When you make enough money, you can leave. FYI, the world is
Now
big.
it's
Planes
spring. Now
work.
it's spring. It's nice out. And I went for a walk the other day. It's cool. It's getting better.
Vamos a México
Yeah,
en 2 meses.
that'll be fun. Inner circle.
Right? Let's talk about this because aside from you just making 700,000 and then being a rich little fuck who can't deal with his losses because he's so spoiled, what's Inner Circle all about? What are you doing these days with Inner Circle?
Inner Circle's great right now too because they're seeing everything. So I got like there's like 20 of us in here. We talk every day. It's like aside from the challenge. So they're all challenge students already. And they it's like a private, like if you're like the TA, if you're the professor of a seminar, I get to be like the TA. So like they're just asking me questions on the side. They text me, we email back and forth, and then we meet up every few months. So the next one's next.
Or before you were a TA, you were a bartender. Is it similar? Do you see like degenerate like alcoholics and now degenerate gamblers? So it's instead of giving them drinks and, frankly, helping them with their addictions, now you're actually teaching them. So it's a little different.
You're like managing the situation. So like I don't want to claim to be like a teacher or anything of these people, but like
A
just
TA.
like a guidance aid, something like that.
Well, in the past, when you were a bartender and alcoholics would come in, it would be your job to indulge them in their addiction. Now, your new job is infinitely better, I think, where you see the same kinds of degenerate behavior, but your job is to correct that misbehavior.
Yeah. Just keep
Have
them
you
on
thought
track.
about that? Have you thought about that at all?
No, I haven't. That's a good comparison actually. And then teaching before that too with the kids.
So you've been on like the wrong team, giving alcoholics drinks.
Well, like a little bit of drinks is okay. Like it's managing, making sure like you can start to tell when they're getting drunk, like then you have to pull
Would you
them
cut
back.
people off? Because I
Cut-
know some heavy
Yeah,
drinkers in Boston.
of course cut people off.
What do you
That's
say?
you have to say it in like a nice way, like, maybe not. Maybe we'll just, you want a water or something, because you don't want to piss them off either. So, like in the inner circle, they're like, oh, just want a good, great trade. I'm looking for the next one. I'm like, uh, maybe you could go for a walk or something. It's the same idea. You just want to deflect.
So you have like baby hands, you gotta treat people with baby hands.
Yeah,
But
same idea.
does it help you?
Yeah, because I have to be honest too. Like I can't fuck around because these people, if I can't tell them to not trade midday, then go trade midday. I'd just be an asshole.
But you
So
have been trading midday.
right. So and they know all about it. So like I don't hide anything. So I have to go in there every day. Like we don't talk from the first 2 hours of the day. Like the chat gets quiet and I have everybody just go trade on their own. Do your own thing. Don't fall for chat room FOMO, and then report back, and we'll talk about what happened. So at 11 o'clock, the messages start coming in. I did this, I did that, and then I have to come in the last 2 weeks and be like, I lost again, guys. And they're like, you're the mentor. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, yeah, no, this is real. This is a long year. I don't win all the time. I break rules. I'm human, and this is the reality of it. So.
So I was giving a challenge webinar today. I don't know if you can pull up QBTS. Can we pull up screens? Can he pull up a screen? You will laugh. I will laugh with you if I wasn't crying inside.
What's up with quantums? Do you like quantums? They're kind of why are they going crazy again?
They're very depressed. When the market comes back, the NASDAQ was up 2% today. Everything's been hit so hard. So, I think people are just looking for any kind of momentum. Some momentum traders, such as myself, would latch on to the momentum. And then also some shorts who have some heavy gains for once. You have to remember the quantums were the hottest sector basically of the past year. Like they all spiked far far longer and far higher than most people realized they would. So many shorts were twisted. Then they also just dropped faster and further than most longs were prepared for. So I think you have two groups of people where this sector spiked up so much for a long time and then dropped so quickly. And that's just volatility. I mean, they basically fit the 7-step framework to a T. And I don't see any other sector really doing that. Even AI plays, which are nice, they're still not getting the same kinds of, framework perfect type patterns.
Yeah, that makes sense. It all follows the framework eventually.
But it's crazy. I mean, it's AI plays, I never really made that much because they're just so choppy and I always get chopped out. Quantum plays I actually did pretty well on because, the run-ups were pretty predictable. And now today, giving a challenge webinar in the same seat that I was in, and I was waiting for it, waiting for it. Can you pull up the screen? You can?
I'm Pascal, I can join. I'm gonna join the Zoom with my other account and I can share my screen. So just have Pascal keep an eye out.
What other account? What's going on?
It's like my computer, it doesn't have a camera on it, so I zoom from my MacBook and then I trade on my computer. It's a good time.
Beware of Greeks. Who knows what's going on? He's got like a burner laptop,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, that's how I do the inner circle calls. Like I talk to them like this and then I share screen on the other one.
Efstratioso Sarentias.
Hmm.
Can they see the full name? I don't know. Show that name. That's crazy. Pull up QBTS. Oh my God, I see it. Oh my God.
Where'd you
Oh
buy
my God.
this?
Oh
Is that
my
you?
God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh,
Where'd
right
you buy it?
there. It's right in the middle. Oh, it's right there. Oh, oh. It's like touching a scar that's my wound is still open. Look at that perfect freaking dip. The third wave too. I did not get tempted at 950. I did not get tempted at 930. My average was 912. And I
Wow. You
out at
nailed it.
890. I out. I was like, it's not holding the VWAP. I need to get out. I looked, I lost 20 cents a share, and that was the afternoon low to a T. And I bit
Yeah. On the webinar too, in front of everyone.
in front of everybody.
The
And
worst,
the
dude.
whole webinar, like literally, I think there were two people that also had some losses because it was a little choppy. And then like 30 people all banked 20, 30, 50, 70 cents a share over the next like 30 minutes, an hour. That,
That's fun.
that was perfect. This is a very simple chart pattern, but I'm just dip buying literally the kiss off the VWAP. To my defense, it did not hold nine like I thought it would. I got in at a little too early at 912-ish. I thought that nine was going to hold. And instead, it just cut through nine like warm butter. And I was like, oh, damn, this thing is up from the fours like 3 days ago. So I thought that I might be late. But in hindsight, it was literally the right time.
Such a shitty time of day. That's why you don't know. 'Cause they dip at midday, then they could still work late. There's too much time in the day. I
It's
want to trade
tough
midday.
because it's if you don't cut those losses quickly, it can get out
Yeah.
of hand so quickly, right? Like it's
You could
such a
easily
slippery
tell.
slope. It can go 880, 870, 860 in the
Yeah.
blink of an eye, right?
That's been my problem. I'm slipping on things. So like I intend to lose 1,000 and I'm losing two, three because I don't do like the hard stops. I just try to get out and then there's no bids. It's so gross and dull and
I mean,
suck.
this thing trades hundreds of millions of shares.
Yeah. You should have been you were fine on this one.
But at that no, but at that key level, like it was crazy. It was like, you
Yeah.
know, it had a better kiss off the VWAP earlier in the day. So I normally like those dip buys. You see, it's much better there where there's a 1 minute candle. Yeah, right there. You can see that 1 minute candle, and then
Yeah, that's all you.
immediately it comes back. So that's nice. That's what I wanted at 9-ish. And instead it deliberated for like 7 or 8 minutes. And even the second time I was already out. And the second time it retested 890. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. It's gonna slip. So like even after I was out, I was still fearful of it. And that actually turned out to be a good buying opportunity. But I don't regret selling. I lost a few $100s. That's how I protect. And this is what you're saying where you intend to lose 1,000 but you lose 2,000. You're trying to be more patient, you're trying to give it time to work out, but there's just more choppiness right now than there was a few weeks ago and a few months ago. So
There's
I,
not a lot of like opportunity too, so you want this trade to work out because there's nothing else to do. So if you have one trade idea that morning and you buy it and then it sucks, it's like, now what?
especially on a Friday where you just want to end the week on a win. I remember last Friday, like you had a bad week, and last Friday I think you made like 500 or 700.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. It was
And
sick. I'm so happy because I had
and that
one little idea. I took one trade and it didn't even work out, but I won. And I was like, that's it. That's the day.
that's a good it's a good like bookend to the week. Like, it's stupid. We shouldn't think about it. No one day, one trade matters, but we're human beings. We want to finish the week on a high note. We don't want to like finish on a low note. Like Jack, when I was talking with him, he was saying how he was like 0 for 6 yesterday, and then 0 for 10 today, or maybe 0 for 6 today, or one of them. But like his last like 16 trades, he's basically 0 for 16. I think that's probably an exaggeration. He's probably like 3 for 16 or maybe 5 for 16, but he thinks that he's 0 for 16 just because he's not getting the big wins. But again, you got to keep everything in perspective. Was it embarrassing for me to lose during a live webinar? Yes, but I protected myself. I would do it again, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a new because when Inner Circle started, it was January when the big month happened and the end of December. So that all they've seen is good things. So now it's like embarrassed. It's a new feeling because it's like, oh yeah, this isn't all that fun, you know? So it's
You
new.
have to see all markets. And I say this, if you guys are gonna be my next millionaire student, you have to see the good, the bad. There's a saying, the sweet isn't as sweet without the sour. If you're only used to winning, then frankly, winning like loses its luster. You don't have full perspective. It's less meaningful. The losses, the tough times actually make the successes more gratifying because then you have perspective. Again, this is where it's like if everything was so easy all the time, it just wouldn't be that much fun. It wouldn't be that challenging. Theoretically, if you look at your job like a slot machine, all you have to do is put in the hours and you get paid. But most people hate their jobs. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid, you still hate it. You feel like just a little cog in the wheel, and it's meaningless after a while. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, like Andy, remember Andy Quickbags, the other millionaire student, he was like, you might need therapy or something because I think you lose on purpose. You just can't deal with it. Like you just need to get punched in the face. Like now I lose and then I turn it up like big time. Like I've been studying like crazy. I'm learning how to read fucking filings right now. I learned what a warrant is, but I wouldn't have did that a month ago. Like it's like I have to like self-sabotage. Something's wrong where it's like I only focus when I'm not winning, which is interesting. So I get that. If I was winning all the time, I wouldn't make any progress. I'd fall apart fast.
And that's the thing.
I don't know. It's weird.
That defines the life of these trust fund kids. It's good that you don't know any. I know too many of them, and they're all ups. Literally every single one of them in a variety of ways. So the losses, the challenges, everyone watching, the trials and tribulations that you go through in trading and while learning, you don't want it. You want it to make more sense. You want more money. You want to be trading bigger. But it's these challenges that help you grow and they help you evolve. That's how you get to the next level. It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it's the challenges. That's why me and Jack are like the same way. We love to learn from like it's like a puzzle, dude. It never ends. You just want to keep figuring it out. So when we start to win, you go bigger and then you're like, how do I go bigger? Like that's the next step, or how do I get the win rate up? Like you never stop wanting to learn. And that's why we are still where we are. Like that's why we do so well, I think. 'Cause we care.
100%. Yeah, I mean, look, you guys want to learn, and that's what people need to understand. That's what the challenge is about. We have so many DVDs, video lessons, and webinars. Now with the Inner Circle, Strati is spearheading it, with pods, a separate chat room. We're doing meetups. We did a meetup in person in Tampa a few weeks ago. Now we're going to Mexico. I got to take Strati to Dubai. Are you excited for Dubai later this year?
I just hate flying, man. I just hate flying. I'm gonna take a Xanax or something.
I'm gonna
No,
get
that'd be
you a
fun. I
little
played
stuffed animal. What's your favorite animal?
like a panda.
I'm gonna get you a little stuffed panda so that you can hold on to your little stress doll.
They just eat the what is it, bamboo,
Yeah,
and just hang out all day. It's sick.
they're actually pretty dumb. Like they're some of the dumbest animals, like
They
pandas and
just,
koalas.
they
They're
just
cute
lay around, eat bamboo.
and they just don't know. They don't even have balance, so they like fall over.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty good. Like pandas and
hilarious.
I have very similar cores. Like we don't have cores, so. we skipped your gym class. For those of you who don't know, Strati was a former gym teacher. Did you teach core exercises or just to climb the rope?
Of course, dude. Of course.
What's the
Core.
best core? What's the best core exercise?
If you do like, if you go probably lunging, to be honest, because it's like it makes like a V, like your legs and your core. Good lunge. You just like
Do a
or
lot of
squatting.
lunges?
Huh?
You do a lot of lunges?
I used to.
Not anymore. What
No,
happened?
I don't work out anymore. That's what I'm missing too. I'm due. I had that boxing thing that took up 2 years, and then I like crashed, and I don't gain weight, so like I kind of have to get fat or something, then get proactive with it. I need to get
All
in the
right.
face. You see what I mean? Like I need to lose. I need to get fat. Something needs to go wrong, and then I'll deal with it. I still get away
So
with it.
you don't try to fix something that's not broke. So we have to break it and then you'll try to fix it.
Right. So if
Okay.
I'm not gaining weight and I'm healthy, I'm not gonna run to the gym.
Well, healthy is good, but I can help you gain weight. I'm been working on my weight gains for quite a while. You might say I'm an expert in making weight gains. So I will teach you the dark magic. I'll pass down my dark gift so that you can gain weight and have a problem and then look to fix it.
Or should we just be proactive and not get fat?
Nope, nope. I know too many good restaurants, way too many good restaurants. And trust me, it's fun. It's really fun to get fat. Like I know in today's society, you shouldn't talk about it. Let's do 75 hard. Let's go into the cold plunge. Like, nope, let's just get fat. And I will teach you how to get fat. And then you're on your own.
Isn't it beautiful to lose it after? It'll be so fun, like a journey.
Quick lesson though for everyone watching. Now that you're spearheading inner circle, what's the best thing that you see students doing and what's the worst thing?
I'd say the worst thing is the bag holding. Still, I can't believe it. Like how much people just buy and they don't cut their losses. Like that's literally the number one thing. And I'm like, it doesn't like everyone just when you're wrong, you just get out, and they don't get out. They go like this, and they're like, ah. And I'm like, what? This is an actual thing? People
In
really
their
do that.
defense, in their defense, I mean, I made a video called Cut Losses Quickly where I just say cut losses quickly for like 30 minutes. But in their defense, especially in a good market that we've had the past year and a half, it's actually probably statistically better to hold because these plays will come back. So they don't have to cut losses. They don't want the pain. And financially, they probably do okay. The problem
Yeah.
comes in with markets like this where things don't come back, things keep crashing much more than you ever thought and you think that something's wrong with you when in fact you've just been spoiled by a good market and you didn't know reality. So when I say cut losses quickly, I say cut losses quickly in good markets and in bad markets. In bad markets, you understand better that you're preventing much bigger losses. In hot markets, like we've had for the past year, my rules just seem frustrating. They're like, no, why should I cut losses? Why should I take a loss in the first place? Everything just comes back. So it's about having perspective for hot and cold markets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, all the rules we apply or do are for any condition. So if you follow all these lessons, you're built to last. So yeah, you might miss out on a couple of trades, but in 6 months you'll be happy you had it. So
I think a
that's
lot of
fun.
people are surprised by how fast these plays drop in a bad market,
And I think a lot of them they're in small because they're starting and they can get away with it. And you only lose $50, $100. But if you get good at this shit and you have a good market and you make a lot, you're gonna start sizing up. And if you didn't nip that habit when you were small, you're gonna bag hold something and lose like 50 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. And
That's a great
so
point. This is why I encourage people to trade with a small account. And I also say, like, no matter what you're trading with, small account, big account, don't skirt the rules. You can't cheat the
yeah,
process because if you learn good rules, good habits with a small account, those good habits will transfer to your big account. If you learn bad habits with a small account, it might not cost you a lot, especially in a hot market. But if you learn those bad habits and you take them to a cold market with big size, you are fucked. Okay.
Yeah, that's the
So
biggest thing.
the consequences are damning, hugely damning later on, but you don't realize it when you're trading with small accounts. Like people are like, yeah, who cares? I don't want to lose 50 bucks. I might as well just try to make 50 bucks. And you reinforce bad habits that will cost you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions over time.
100%. I agree.
So that's the bad. What's the good? What have you learned from inner circle students doing well?
They listen, they care, and they're willing to adapt. So they all traded a certain way before I met them, and we've done several Zoom calls, Zoom meetings. They've talked to each other and they've learned new things. So they're taking trades they didn't take before. They're doing good habits. So they don't have egos. Like if they were willing to join Inner Circle, that means they obviously care and they're open to learning, which is I think is really good.
100%. And anybody who wants to join, you can click the link below. We'll include it below this video. You can learn about Inner Circle. It's only for people who are truly dedicated in their education. It costs money, it costs time. Okay. If you don't have money and if you don't have time, it's not for you. The good news is, you can study however you want, but the challenge and now Inner Circle, which is like challenge on steroids, it's for those people who really want to speed up their learning curve. And we have such a great group of people. I really think that we're probably going to have the most number of millionaires coming out of the Inner Circle in the future. In the past, we didn't have Strati, we didn't have like a fully optimized platform. We've taken Inner Circle and we've built it up. And not just Strati. I mean, that meetup in my Tampa was awesome, where we had what, 3 millionaires and like 3 upcoming millionaires, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you can learn from different mentors. It's not just about millions. I like the comment that, no names, but they said that Strati, even though you haven't made millions, you're a better teacher than some of the millionaires.
No, you can explain things well. I can see what other mentors are trying to explain. So like I've worked with Gratani, I learned from Mari, I learned from Jack, I've learned from a lot of people. You obviously, sorry, forgot to say your name. And I've taken like a piece here, a piece there, and like maybe someone will watch a Jack webinar and he doesn't explain it the best. And I can be like, guys, this is what Jack meant, so I can translate it for you a lot
He has
easier.
like a third grade education, and you have the rope climbing education. So, I think that's like fourth grade or fifth grade.
Like a lot of people just misunderstand what the top people are saying. I feel like I got a good grasp on what they're doing, and now I have to try to learn how to do it and explain it. So
Well, Jack can sometimes be harsh too. The way that he's pushed himself, he's like a perfectionist.
I sent him a Snapchat of my TV. I was watching Animal Planet today, just to whatever. And he's like, "That looks like it looks like $100 TV. Why do you have $100 TV?" I'm like, "That's not the point, dude. Like, relax." He's
I
like, "You're a
remember
700K trader."
I remember when he was like really like making like $200,000 or $300,000 every day just a few weeks ago. And he would like text like you and me and a few other people being like, waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, no alarm. He's like, woke up at 2:36 a.m., no alarm, screenshot, made 230,000. Why aren't you up? And I was
Yeah.
like, I would wake up to this.
Every day for months. I woke up at 6, 7 a.m. to text, Discord messages. You're not working hard enough. I'm up 100K. I make more than you've ever made in an hour. It's like, all right, dude, relax.
You have to
It's hard to
understand.
relate to.
But it's beautiful because that's the level that he's pushed himself to. And this actually happens if you look at a lot of like athletes. Like Michael Jordan would do this with his teammates. Larry Bird would do this. Kobe Bryant would do this. Just in terms of basketball players, and
Yeah.
obviously like Tom Brady. But all of the greats, they're so competitive, and it's like they take it to the next level, and it's, outsiders are like, whoa, calm down. Like you're on like level 1,000, adrenaline in competition. And somebody else is like just waking up being like, good morning. How are you doing? And it's like, but that's the mindset required. So everybody can learn based on their own dedication level. Some people, like to study an hour a day. Some people like an hour on weekends. Some people like to study 4 hours at night. Some people study all weekend. We have a very wide range of mentors. And it's not just about how much money you've made, like Strati was saying, where you take a little something from every mentor and you kind of like create your own little Frankenstein, like your own process. And it's you take different pieces. I'll tell you straight up, I love Tim Gritani. He's over 16 million. He was my second millionaire student, but he's so patient. And I remember one time I was watching Trading Tickers when Kyle Williams first crossed $1 million. You know this story, right?
No,
You know,
no.
when Kyle Williams first crossed $1 million, we went out to San Diego to surprise him. We dressed up as vegetables. We had these
I've
giant
heard that. Yeah, yeah,
vegetable costumes because he likes vegetables and fruits.
yeah.
I remember that. Let's insert that picture, right? And we were all in San Diego and we surprised Kyle. We went to like Whole Foods. I got all the fruits and vegetables. It was only like 200 or $300. Like fruits and vegetables back then, at least, were pretty cheap. Um, Anyways, I was watching Trading Tickers before bed, and Tim Gritani was like, he was up like 25,000 on one of the trades, but he wanted 50,000. So he kept holding. And then literally he held too long and he ended up losing like 35,000. And I was just like, and I went to bed. I like shut my laptop off. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. How can he do this? But when you're going for bigger accounts, like that's the kind of swings that you're okay with. And I went to bed and I literally woke up like 3 hours later. I had a nightmare that I was like in a short squeeze and I couldn't get out because I had like Tim Gritani rules in my head and I was just losing. And I was like, ah. And I woke up and I remember I did like a lap around the Airbnb that I had rented. And I was just like, never watch Trading Tickers before bed for me because I'm a patient trader. Tim Gritani's extra patient. Jack Kellogg loves Tim Gritani too, but he tried to do Tim Gritani's strategy in the beginning. It didn't work. He hated it. Now Jack and Tim have similar account sizes. Jack has gravitated towards more Tim Gritani type swings. So, you take a little something from everybody and understand that you're going to change based on the market, based on your account size. And that's cool to have that knowledge where, for me, the first third of my video lessons are all short selling. I don't short sell anymore. So everyone's like, what are you doing? I think it's still good to learn short selling. Do you short sell ever, Stratty?
No, no. I don't even know. I don't understand how. I don't know how to do locates. I don't know I hate opening Cobra. Every time I open up Cobra, I get anxiety. I just think my Thinkorswim, Schwab, market orders, it's so easy, happy as can be.
You do what works for you, okay? And it's been working for you. You're a few months away, a few good trades away from $1 million.
Yes.
The money doesn't mean anything.
I'm not worried about that right now. I was when I was hot because I was thinking money, money, money. Now I'm losing. I'm like, forget the money. Just do the
So
right thing.
when you're hot, you're trying to push it because you made 700,000 and
Yeah.
you're over 700,000. But just in the past few months, you said what? You were up like 400 or 450.
400,000, yeah, since October.
So how many years have you been trading now?
It's year 5.
Year five. So for 4.5 years, you're at around like 300,000,
Yeah.
which is
No, it
still
was
pretty good.
I crossed 100K in 2023. This has all been in the last 2 years.
Crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy how it adds up. And look at how you've changed, your whole apartment. I see all the fine art on the walls and have have you gotten anything?
No. What is there to get? I don't care. I got a nice
Got a
pillow.
nice chair. You got a nice chair.
I did. I got like a new setup. Remember when you came over? I
Yeah.
got
Whoa, let's go.
two nice monitors. That's
I
the cool. That's as far as I've gone. I don't know. I
that's
don't really care about that
that's the
shit.
real fine art.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, I'm more experiences, right? Like I can't stop traveling. I love traveling. That helps me with my education. It helps me with my ADD. It helps me with my over trading. I actually do worse when I'm back in America because I'm not as jet lagged. So I'm just trading and then I'm always over trading. So I actually do better trading from Asia, which is sad. So I've
Yeah.
kind of lost in this world and I
I'm the
must.
same way. I'm not like a travel experience guy, but just doing stuff with my friends, like going to dinner and not having to worry about what to pay for, like I can get the nicest steak. Like that feels good. Stuff like that. But like if we don't go to the craziest places either, but even just not having to worry about little things like that, that
You
feels
also
good.
haven't made enough money to truly buy the nice toys.
No,
So
I haven't. I'm not even
let's
close.
let's give it a few years and then you
Yeah.
might, Strati 2027, I just wanted the high-end Ferrari. I don't want the low-end Ferrari, like that extra
I don't
20
know.
kilometers an hour really matters.
I don't know. I will see, that's the cool part about this too, is you find out the truth. I'm curious to see how I end up, I might be a, get
Let's
to
see
find
you
out.
next time. You're gonna have like some diamond encrusted glasses, like it. Who knows? There's literally no wrong answer when you have financial freedom. The key word is freedom. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. I went through my car phase. I went through my whole, superficial spending phase. I still remember the last night that I bought bottles at a club in Story and I spent $23,000 on bottles in liquor and I'm looking around at all these like fake people in the club and like the girls with the duck lips and I'm like, what am I doing? This is terrible. And I walked home and I remember it was like a 2.5 hour walk home and I like sobered up and I never got, crazy bottle service again. But I
Yeah.
probably wasted, if I had to guess all my bottle service in the past, I probably threw away like $250,000 over the years.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do that.
It was a phase, I had to go there, right? Like then I started building schools and like you can build a school for like $25,000. Far better than bottle service and duck lip girls in Miami, right? So it's like, you just try different stuff and you see what's meaningful. And for me, it was my childhood dream, not necessarily the bottle service, but like the nice cars, the nice toys. Like I still some of the things I spent money on, I still really enjoy. Like, moving my family down from Connecticut to Miami, getting them some really nice apartments. That was in my superficial phase, but that turned out to stick. That was like a good splurge, right? So there's no one right answer for everybody. You just got to be real about it and you got to learn from your mistakes. I got rid of all my cars because I like traveling. My cars were just sitting in the garage. They were wasting away. I didn't even know one time I went back for my Ferrari and I was like, oh, I'm back in Miami for a few days. Let me, have fun with this Ferrari. And it was dead because I didn't know, like, you have to actually like drive it and there's like maintenance with the battery. I didn't know. No one tells you
Cool for
that.
like a day. It's cool for a day, and then you're over it, and then you're stuck with this Ferrari.
Well, I mean, it was a little more than a day that it was fun, but after like a year and a half, it wasn't as much fun anymore.
I don't know. We'll see. It's not. I don't know if that's gonna be me. I hope not.
You were driving me around in a very nice car up in Boston, man. There's nothing wrong with nice cars.
It's a lease.
I Whatever works, whether it's a lease, whether you bought it, whether you stole it, it's still a nice car, you
Well,
know?
that's the other game too. Like down the road, like Jack's getting into the investing world of things, real estate and all that. Like once you do get all this money, like what do you do with it? So the housing market's super high. Everything rents super high. So I don't really feel comfortable moving out. So yeah, like might as well buy a car or something to kill a couple years, at least for 3 years, because I'll switch up in 3 years and see where we're at. Like there's not much I can do right now. I feel
No, I
stuck.
mean, look, Jack got a monster truck to compensate for I don't know what. He got a boat with his face on it. He hasn't caught any tuna since he got the ugly face boat thing. Like, whatever works for you. When you have money, you can do whatever you want. No one can judge you.
No, but there's not so much we can do right now with this. We need this market crash is kind of good. Make things like you can buy shit now.
I mean, look, this is the thing. Like you can't just have a stock market that's always at its highs. You can't always have a real estate market that's always at its highs. When when it gets so high, the gains are so minimal because it's already priced so high. You need that volatility. The volatility opens up good dip buys. It opens up market tops. Some of the dumb people get wiped out. I can't tell you how many financially irresponsible people have so much money right now. I can't wait for them to get wiped out. A fool and his money are soon parted. You can't buy these, ridiculous meme coins that are a joke. They're just not going to last. Aliens, future generations are looking back at this generation and laughing their off.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
But
One
at the
like that's
same
the
time,
top, huh?
what?
Like that's the top. Like wasn't last time it was NFTs? There's always some bullshit at the end, right?
It's
Now it's
it's
meme
the,
coins.
the most ridiculous things happen at the top. And then you look
Yeah,
back and you're like, how could people buy this? But like during frenzies, that super speculative stuff really adds up. Like you can make fun of these meme coins, but like, someone put $100 or $200 in the right meme coin and you come out with like a few million. Like it's the upside is there when the market is hot. So outsiders can hate on it, but if you're that one person who put in $1,000 or $500 and now you have 7 or 8 figures, you freaking love it.
yeah. No, I can't. There's literally nothing we can say. There's a 14-year-old out there that made 100 million on Trump coin. There's nothing we can do about it.
It's look,
Back.
you can be bitter about it, you can accept it, you can learn from it. The good news is there will always be superficial markets that creates opportunities for longs and shorts.
Yeah,
The volatility creates opportunities for traders. And you just take it one trade, one hot market, one pattern at a time, and you try your best and you learn from past patterns. Now you finally have money. I'm excited to see what you do, not just when you cross over $1 million, but like what you do now with a bigger account size, with more
right.
experience. The things that you're going to be doing in 2025 and 2026, you couldn't do in 2021, 2022 because you didn't have the capital, you didn't have the know-how.
Yeah. We're just starting. We're just scratching the surface. This is nothing.
You're just a baby, you're like a newborn Xerxes in the Persian Empire. And, you want to take over, and who knows what's going to happen.
And Inner Circle gets to see it all every day they get to see every second of it.
But that's the beautiful thing about tracking every trade, about showing every trade. And this is why I love teaching too, because it's not just about the money, it's the process and showing other people the process, especially when you know how life-changing these rules are. Because
Yeah.
99% of people trade without rules. They don't learn from their losses, they don't have discipline. So they're just on the wrong track. And it doesn't matter what stock they buy, it doesn't matter what investment they try, they're on the wrong track. They're not going to go anywhere. Forget about making millions. They're not going to make any money because they're just gambling. So if we can get people away from gambling, learning a process, being disciplined, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, they just make money, they're just going to give it back if they don't have a good foundation. I've said we see it all the time. So,
You build the proper foundation. This works for, architecture too, right? You build the proper foundation and then, you see how high you can go. Anyways, I got to go. I got to sleep. My eyes are like half shut. One final word. Why should people join Inner Circle? Because we're going to send this to everybody.
because it's hard to learn on your own. It's good to have a small circle of people to work with. If anyone went to college, being in a seminar with 250 people is way different than being in a small room with 10 people and like a TA. So it's a really big head start.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Thank you for joining. Thank you for spearheading. What are you going to do this weekend?
probably just log off, honestly, relax. It's been a tough couple weeks, and I don't want to kill myself over it. Just take it easy.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'll see you in Mexico in a few weeks. Everyone watching this, we're doing an Inner Circle meetup in Mexico. We're also going to do one we chose like a boring place too. What, North Carolina or South Carolina or something?
Yeah. This one a little more local.
One of the Carolinas a few months later, and then Dubai to finish off 2025. I got to show everybody the future. I'm excited to see Strati's eyes light up, and we'll see what he thinks.
That'll be
But
fun. Sweet.
I'm pumped. Thank you for all your good words of wisdom. Keep up the good work. Have a good weekend.
Thanks.
Evaristo.
Haristo.
Paricalo.